Also, their kissing is not like very passionate.
It's like
I always notice that. It's like boop.
and then it's there for like ever.
Jen's like has high expectations. More
Lunch
break.
Welcome back to another episode of Lunch Break. Our plus one for today is Angela Cortez. She requested American and fast food. Does anyone have American or fast food?
I think this counts.
Oh,
Hot Pocket.
Oh my
that
goodness.
is-
That is so American.
That's as American as you can get. I have some fresh American spring water.
Oh my
delicious.
goodness. I have ribs my brother made.
Ooh.
Very American.
I have some leftover chicken, but it's not any type of chicken. It's Korean fried chicken.
From America.
Ooh.
Which leads into our topic for today. We're going to talk about K-dramas today.
Exciting! Is it from BBQ chicken?
It is from BBQ.
Well, the reason why, we have Wes here and the three girls is we somehow created this dynamic of us four where like Wes likes to ask us questions while he watches things that we tend to watch. Like, for example, like To All the Boys, we loved before. So we thought it'd be interesting, the same thing, we discuss our K-drama love and Wes put his input into this.
I love K-dramas. People might think that I'm on this episode because I don't like them or I don't know anything about them. That's false. I'm a big fan that doesn't keep up with them, but that doesn't mean I can't like it. And everything, all my thoughts are coming from a place of interest and engagement. I'm not attacking or making fun of anything. If anything, I want to be the K-drama guy, you know? I want to be the guy.
Ooh.
Doesn't every guy want to be that guy?
Which guy?
You know?
Which guy?
The girls, we tend to talk about this in the office a lot. This is something we bond about a lot. So we just want to like go over the intricacies of K-drama and like why we even got into this and like what our favorites are. So this is going to be a hefty video.
Do you know what a K-drama is, Wes?
Oh, it's a test. Yes, a Korean drama is similar to, it's a form of entertainment that comes out of South Korea usually. It's usually a romantic story where there is one character that discovers or happens across another character and their lives are intertwined in a way that wasn't expected. And then ultimately there's some conflicts in between, but they come out together for the better. And usually there's some tragedy. Back in the day, it was very highly popular to lose your memory, lose your vision, lose your sight,
This is so
lose any sensation, which would limit your ability to love someone, yet they overcome that and they love regardless. So that was back in, I'd say, late 90s. Now I think because of the progression of Korean dramas, I think they're actually touching on some topics that are really noteworthy and more human, things that are actually things that us as people should talk about, and that leads us into the present day trends.
You know,
is that right?
I really thought you were just going to say Korean drama.
Yeah,
But
that was actually like really
I
well
didn't
Yeah,
stop
you
you.
went real detailed. Yeah, I'm really impressed.
Well, it's like a Spanish telenovela, right? It's a soap opera.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Get a
Minus,
comparison.
I mean, I was gonna say minus the cheese, but no, there's equal cheese.
No, there's hella cheese.
Did
Yeah.
more cheese.
That's what makes
Yeah.
it so great, though.
Also worth noting that no one here is actually of Korean descent, right?
No.
So I think that's another big aspect of K-dramas. It extends beyond all ethnicities. I mean, not just Asian either. There's a fan base across the world.
They always span like 16 to 20 episodes. And like, I personally like it because you know that there's an ending. And I feel like that's a big
Yes.
difference between like American shows and Korean shows. You know, everything's gonna be tied up nicely.
Yeah.
And you won't be like, oh, this is gonna drag on for 7 seasons.
That's true. That's what I think that's the difference between American dramas, because they always like want to have a next season for American dramas, and then like Korean dramas most of
Bring
the
the
time
money in.
the time it's just one season, even though fans want like another season.
Like another thing about like K-dramas I like is that it's mostly serialized format where like it's just you have to watch every single episode
Yeah.
to understand it. Whereas like American ones, a lot of them are like, oh, you can just go into any episode and just watch any episode and be like, oh, okay, I get it.
When would you guys first get into it?
Mama started me off young.
Oh, how young!
I think the first K-drama I've ever watched was Autumn in My Heart, which was a 2000 K-drama. So I was like
Wait, like
6.
2000? Just like 2000?
Like 2000 flat.
Oh, Whoa.
Yeah,
Wait, that's
Well-
really early. How old were you?
around 6.
What?
Wait, did you watch it like dubbed or was it actually like,
It was dubbed. It was dubbed in Chinese because my mom
Yes.
was watching it.
Oh,
okay, because same, like I've been exposed to them when I was growing up, but they're like Vietnamese dub, but I
Mhm.
never knew they were actually like Korean
Mm.
until like later when I was in middle school, and I was like, oh, like so I just thought like it was really bad Vietnamese acting.
I think I started like freshman year in high school for me. That's because like my mom introduced me to like Taiwanese dramas, and then I like met a Korean friend in high school, and they were like, "Oh my god, K dramas are so much better." I watched a drama called You're Beautiful, and then I was like, and then I was like, "Oh my god, this is like so well produced."
Oh, yeah, so I'm a late bloomer. These two girls have definitely watched way more than me. So same thing like in high school, middle school, like people were trying to convince me to watch these things. But then I knew that I was very susceptible to like cheesy things and like ruining my perceptions of like love and like life. So I knew that I didn't want to fall into that black hole. So I specifically was like, I'm not doing this. After college, one of my friends recommended me. She's like, no, this is on Netflix. So I watched Strong Girl Bong Soon.
No,
Strong Woman
that was your
Bong Soon.
first one.
That's a solid
Yeah.
first one.
So that one like dragged me deep into the black hole,
Dude,
and I
that
was
one's
like,
so cheesy.
yeah. So I was like,
It's
so I was
so
like,
great,
oh
though.
man.
Wes, what was your first K drama?
The first K drama I watched and followed was Stairway to Heaven, and I was
Classic.
I was a third year in college.
Third
Oh.
year.
I was like 19, 20, 19, 20. I think I liked it because I saw people like me on screen. I think honestly I was like, oh, this is cool, and it's like they're the leads of this story. Sure, I don't know what they're saying, but by that time, you know, you had watched other international films. It was the first time I watched something that had such like roller coaster of emotions, or the story always left it at a cliffhanger, and I was like, oh, I get why this is a thing, and I would watch it with like my downstairs suite mates,
Aw,
the
fun.
girls' apartment downstairs, so we would like watch them together.
This isn't new.
Yeah.
This isn't
Huh?
new right here.
Oh,
This
yeah,
right
yeah.
here.
Nothing has changed.
And the music was good, but it wasn't the pop music that you thought. You know how they always play that one song, right? They always play one song like
Yeah.
whenever something happens. I think that's
Yeah.
also a pattern of K dramas. They play this song called Ave Maria, like the actual like Catholic like hymn, but it had like this beat to it, and it made everything super dramatic.
Was that the only K drama that you watched? Like all the way through?
Honestly, yeah. No, I didn't even watch it all the way through because we had
You
to.
know what happens at the
I
end?
don't know what happens. But after that, I stopped watching K dramas because exactly for that reason. Like, what if I don't finish it? So I wanted to watch movies that like I knew I could get through in one sitting. Years later, my favorite is Forever Endless Valentine of My Winter Heart.
Yeah, you started making them. That's
Yeah,
why you
I was
stopped
like-
watching them.
Exactly.
No, you brought up a good point of like also seeing Asian people on screen. I think that is very powerful, and I feel like that is why I'm gravitating towards it more recently as well.
It's cool seeing Asian people like elevated like that.
Hey guys, it's Benson here. I'm in my garage, but lunch break will be back in just a quick second. Lately, times have been a little tricky balancing work and life when it all seems to just blend together. Trying to keep a normal routine is more of a struggle, and stopping to relax and reflect just isn't the same. BetterHelp is a mental health resource designed to help you connect with your own licensed professional therapist. Signing up is super easy. On your smartphone, install the BetterHelp app and you'll be asked a series of questions to assess your needs and create your account. You'll be able to start communicating with someone in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it's professional counseling done securely online. With BetterHelp, I'm able to log into my account anytime, anywhere, and send a message to my counselor. There's a broad range of expertise available which may not be locally available in many areas. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. We have a special offer for our lunch break listeners to get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/lunch. Visit betterhelp.com/lunch. That's better, H-E-L-P, and join the over 800,000 people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. All the information and links can be found in the description below.
Yeah, we know it's known for the cheese. What are like some classic things you see in every K drama?
There's usually always like a rich guy, poor girl situation.
Yes, the
That's
CEO,
the classic.
businessman,
One of them gotta be rich.
and the girl never likes him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they always hate
Yeah.
each other.
You got to start from somewhere, right? If she already likes him in the beginning, then there's no story.
Because there's a very thin line between hate and love, right?
I mean, there's always a first lead, second lead of love interests.
Oh,
the
yes.
yeah, and then they tend to have different personalities. So the first one tends to have like the colder demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
The guy,
Bad boy.
yeah, the bad boy, the one she falls for in the end. And then the second guy tends to be like the best friend, like loving, like she should be with
Yeah.
like
Like, obviously the better choice, but she chooses the main lead.
yes,
Yes.
Does it always follow a female character?
Yes.
yeah, right. For the most
Usually.
part,
I feel like Stairway to Heaven was pretty equal. Like it followed the guy a lot too.
Maybe like 60, 40. Like 60% is mostly about the female.
I
and
mean-
then 40%?
no, I feel like there definitely are like male lead ones, but I feel like the romance
Yeah.
inducing ones tend to be female led.
I mean, yeah, there are like definitely not romantic K-dramas. There are like the ones that talk about like either society or like just guys fighting and stuff.
Like Kingdom
The Spy.
on Netflix. It's about zombies, so it's
Right.
like
So what-
it's a male lead. And
Well,
there's
what
no
other
romance.
tropes? What other tropes? I'm curious.
I feel like we mostly know about romantic ones.
montages and the OST popping up when they're
boom,
like
touching.
boom, boom. You know, it's
The
like
kiss,
120 frames per second.
Yeah, you gotta see
like,
the kiss in like 10 different angles.
yeah, the angles.
Slow-mo.
The
Yes,
angles.
the angles.
There's
are the
rain somehow.
Do-
always.
Also,
Do
the
they-
kissing is not like very passionate. I always,
like-
I always
What?
notice that. It's like,
And then it's
Jen's-
there
Jen's-
for like ever.
Jen's like has high expectations.
I think we're comparing it to American dramas.
Maybe.
Because Americans
Yeah.
like they like make out on the first episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
True.
true.
You have to wait like 10 episodes.
Asian sentiment is like, wait
Touch
for
the
it.
heart.
Like build up,
Innocence.
Do they still do the thing where it's like where two people like literally just miss each other? Do they still do that? Someone's chasing someone else,
yeah.
trying to
Probably.
find them,
Yeah.
That
and then they
happened.
just
Yeah.
miss each other.
yeah.
But it's like very literal.
I feel like it's not as common nowadays. It still happens, just not as common.
Like people are sensitive to that now. They've learned. It's so cringe that they're like, we gotta get away from that.
There's always like a life-threatening situation that happens.
Oh, yes.
No matter
I
how
don't-
cheesy the drama is and innocent it is, there's always that one moment where like usually the girl is in a life-threatening situation that she totally could have avoided.
Can I ask, as women, when you see that, do you let it go and like want to be saved or rescued, or is the first gut reaction like, ew, no, like she should be stronger than that?
Damsel in distress. Well,
Exactly.
a lot of these situations tend to be like very life-threatening. So yes, I would like help. I don't want to die because it tends to be like, oh, she's kidnapped or like she's held hostage or something. But if it's something more like, oh, I fell. Yes, I can get up myself.
When I see in specifically like K-dramas, I'm like, oh my gosh, damsel in distress. Like sometimes it's like nice to see a guy save a girl. And also like nowadays I think dramas have like the girl saving the guy too. So I don't know. I like the more dramatic situations.
Guys need a lot of saving too. It's true.
Remember when there used to be like the first meeting and they like either they like hate each other or something and then like the girl falls and then they kiss on accident.
That's just.
I hated that. I hated
That's
that.
just
so
non-consensual.
Or
That's
just like falling on each other. And it's like, oh.
And then their lips
My
just
bee.
happen to kiss.
And it's like
People
not
just-
even. It's just like ooh.
That's just clumsy people.
Oh, misunderstandings is always
Oh,
a thing.
Yes.
When it's like,
So
oh, she doesn't like me. Oh, because she likes him. And it's like, no, she loves you.
they word it in a specific way where obviously it'll be misunderstood, and it's like, can you just explain the
Yeah.
situation?
Communicate.
How come you girls don't get frustrated and be like, I can't with these characters anymore. I'm gonna stop. Like, what makes you invested still?
Well, we can't stop.
I
We're
mean-
already in so deep.
Maybe it's like because when we're watching, there's 16 episodes usually, and like they go into more intricacies of like the character development. So maybe it's like more benefit of the doubt. Like like they have other traits and stuff where in a movie they're kind of like rushed, and you're like, ugh.
If one part is frustrating, you'll keep watching to know about something else.
See, the difference is we can just fast forward.
That too.
we know like most K-dramas, the ending is usually like a happy, like, oh, they're gonna get together. So maybe because we know that, it's like, okay, it's just like it's a minor speed bump before like things get better.
That's totally fair. And even when we did the movie and Single by 30, you look for train wrecks to put them in, so
Yeah.
that you can get them out and you can have that redemption. So
Yeah.
totally
Character
get it.
development.
So Wes, since the last K-drama you watched was like years ago, have you been wanting to watch any recent new dramas now?
I'm so behind on watching everything that I wouldn't say K-dramas are at the top of my list, but like I'll pass by you guys watching something, and I feel very lucky to be exposed to those little things, because if I didn't know those, then I'd be totally out of the conversation.
Lucky for you, all three of us are going to present our favorite K-dramas / recommendations.
Okay, that's great. Oh, this is great.
Our next sponsor is Water Cooler Trivia. Team building is very important, especially for a small and close-knit group like ours. We put ourselves completely into the work that we do, that we often forget to set time to rest, recuperate, and have a little fun. Water Cooler Trivia is a weekly trivia contest for work teams that is customizable, low stakes, and fun. If you guys have been following Wong Fu for a while, you'll know that in our regular office chats and our lunch breaks, we're always trying to one-up each other with extra tidbits and facts here and there. So Water Cooler Trivia takes that to another level. We use it with Slack, so every Monday we get a new quiz for the team to complete, and the scoreboard is released the next day. You can customize the questions to your region, age group, and interests, and we've been doing it the past couple of weeks, and it's been getting pretty competitive. If you're ready to challenge your coworkers, head to watercoolertrivia.com/lunch and you'll get 4 weeks completely free, no credit card required. That's watercoolertrivia.com/lunch. You might be surprised at what random facts your teammates know. Now, let's get back to lunch.
Is this like a pitch? Like
Yeah, we're pitching K-dramas to you.
okay,
Okay.
I will watch. I'll watch the first episode of whoever wins.
What? Okay,
Whatever
you judge.
resonates with you, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
whichever resonates.
No, based on the pitch.
based on the pitch. I didn't get ready for that.
You should pitch it with me in mind.
What
You know?
Oh wait.
Like-
No, that's too much. No, just say why you like it.
Okay.
Synopsis and why you like it.
So my favorite K-drama is Goblin / or like another title is Guardian, the Lonely and Great God.
Classic.
So it's about a guy who becomes cursed to live forever as punishment for the lives he took in the past, like historic era time. And in Korea, they call them like Goblin, and he has powers, and he can't die until his quote-unquote bride comes and takes a sword out of his chest. Many centuries later, like in the present day, he meets his bride, and their fate intertwines. And then there's like a really great side love story. You know, there's like a secondary couple, and there's like interactions with like a Grim Reaper who ends up becoming friends with the main character guy. So I guess it's more like it focuses a lot more on the guy because it's about his journey of being able to die, which he's been wanting to do because he's been alive for like thousands of years. And it's super fantastical. It's super dramatic. There's great acting. The actor actually is the main guy from Train to Busan. Awesome soundtrack. And at least for me, it made me cry a ton.
Okay, so that sounds very interesting. I kind of like that one. It's like Asian Wolverine,
What? Wait, there's no
Sure.
because Wolverine can't die.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he
Yes.
can. It's very hard for him. And then he also killed a lot of people in his life. Wait, are you telling me he goes through this show with a sword stuck in his chest?
No, so it's like it's only visible to the bride. So like
Oh.
no one else can, like no regular humans can see it. Like the Grim Reaper can see it, and like other like
Okay.
non-human like things.
But the story is mostly based in modern times, or is it like an ancient thing?
It's mostly based on modern times, but they're like flashbacks to like when
I like
the
flashbacks.
incident happens. Yeah.
Okay, very high marks for Goblin.
I've never actually watched that, so
So good. It's so
Been wanting
dramatic.
Okay.
All right, Jen.
I'm sorry. I did not prepare a well thought out synopsis.
That's okay.
So mine is called Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-ju. This is my favorite because I love slice of life type of dramas. This girl, Kim Bok-ju, she's a collegiate female weightlifter. I think it's cool because she's that female character who's like not the typical girly girl, and she really plays that up. And they go to a college that is known for sports. And then the main guy, my love.
She can't even say it.
What? He's your
what's
love?
his-
I thought Park Seo-joon was your love.
He's my age.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Nam Joo-hyuk. He's a collegiate swimmer, so he has his own issues and whatnot. They create this best friend type of friendship, and it's very sweet. And like they basically uplift each other as they go through the struggles of like their life. Like what am I? Like yeah. So they're both dealing with a lot of career issues. Like, oh, is this what I want to do? And like they have their own like mental hoops they need to jump through, so they really like help each other through that. It's also very cutesy with all their relationship moments are very adorable, and like I find myself wanting to like rewatch it over and over and over again.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like slice of life stuff. Like that sounds more like something I would make.
Yes.
So I can get on board with that. But what is the conflict though? I said you said there's no real drama, but what's the main conflict?
Well, like romance wise, so I mean, spoiler. So basically, she's into his brother because he's like a doctor and like you know really like hot.
Ooh,
I
like
guess.
how you made that movement. Ooh, really like.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You know Messi?
Broads.
So she likes the muscles.
Do you
No,
like
do
Messi?
you like Messi? What? Forgot about
Huh?
that. But yeah, I feel like that was one of the main conflicts that like she really liked him and he was on the sidelines like, I'll help you get with him, I guess.
Aww.
But I feel like the main conflict is more like just them trying to get through life together.
That also sounds great. That sounds
Nothing
great.
dramatic.
I feel like Goblin would make me a little stressful, but a weightlifting fairy would be like a nice like.
It'll calm you down from Goblin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a very like feel good type of show.
Yeah. Okay. Jessica, what you got?
So mine is called W or Two Worlds.
I think Wes would like this.
Fantasy, suspense, thriller, romance. So pretty much it's about this webtoon author that goes missing and his daughter tries to find him and she's looking through his work and she suddenly gets transported to another dimension, which is the world of his webtoon that her father created. And so it's pretty much a story about like her falling in love with the main character in that webtoon and like transporting back and forth from the worlds.
Does she know that she's in it?
Yes, she knows that she's in it. Because when she gets transported back to the real world, the new webtoon chapter pops up and it's her in the webtoon.
Is she in it for the whole series or does she go in and out?
She goes in and out.
What? That's cool.
I watched it too. It's actually pretty cool. It's a cool concept.
I've been wanting to watch that one.
It has some scary parts.
That's cool. Those
Suspense
are all great.
thriller.
Yeah, all different genres.
It's crazy that like when I think K-drama, like it's very like cookie cutter. And what you guys described kind of shows how far the genre has come. Like there's so much depth within each story versus the typical boy meets girl rescue kind of thing, you know? I think that's really cool that they've evolved the whole thing to be more deep.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one,
Oh god.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Won't be offended.
it's probably a tie between Goblin and whatever Jess's was. Was it W?
It's called
Oh, W. Oh, okay. I'll watch W.
W for Wes.
I think that totally sounds like something you'd watch.
Yeah, I think because honestly, like the one that Jen's describing, maybe there's not, and I sound like the producer guy now. There's not enough of a hook because
That's fine.
when I watch it, I think I am looking for something a little like extraordinary
Yeah.
versus regular life. Because if I want to watch regular life, I'd watch Wong Fu stuff.
He wants the drama.
Oh, you know what it is? Because I haven't seen a K-drama that goes fantasy, that goes fantastic.
That's true.
So I'm curious about that. But also, let's be totally honest here. Like a lot of the reason why you girls watch K-dramas is because there's attractive people in them.
What are you saying?
You're like,
No, it's not.
No,
what
yeah,
are you
what
talking
is
about?
About character, not
For the
about-
plot.
Oh,
You watch
okay,
it for the
okay.
I
plot.
mean, yeah, yes, it helps.
so yeah, I just like to bring up that point. That's all I'm saying. W is the winner always. W.
Okay. Yay.
I'll watch them. It's gonna give guys like me a incorrect perception of what guys should and need to be.
No.
But I do enjoy them, so I'll let you know when I watch them, and hopefully everyone enjoyed such great breakdowns of all these shows. I think it's cool that just K-dramas and Asian cinema is like mainstream now. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, on Netflix. And like it's also on like all the other streaming services too that I saw, like Hulu too.
All right, that was a great talk about K-dramas. Want to say one last thank you to our +1 Angela Cortez. And if you want to be a +1 on lunch break, remember to join Patreon.
Thanks for our podcast listeners. If you didn't know, we have a weekly podcast along with this lunch break if you don't have time to just watch the video of lunch break. So check us out.
And if you want new merch, check out longfoodstore.com.
And subscribe for more videos every Thursday. Bye.
See you
Bye.
next week. Bye.